Folks, welcome back to the Alpha Stream. We kick it up a notch as we move into our match number 3 of the night. We got Ottawa Braves sitting at number 3 in the CCL Power Rankings versus the number 4 in the Power Rankings, GCU. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Proper. We are ready to see this banger matchup. Am I right, Proper?
It's gonna be dope, man. I mean, like, at the end of the day, the way the power rankings are always kind of working for itself. I almost went like a little tangent earlier, right? I mean, it's really hard to gauge where a lot of these teams, even within the top 10, do place. I mean, look, Bay State, Northwood, off of players alone, that's obvious. You know, when you bring in the Ottawa Braves, Cold War champions, keep in mind you here for the CCL 2021 season, it becomes a little bit more monotonous. Where do you place the rest of the team soon after? Grand Canyon University, the Lopes, have been absolutely catching a lot of fire when it comes down to what they've been doing throughout Stage 1. And now in Stage 2, got themselves quite the barn burner going up against the number 3 team. Quite excited to see how this one plays out, my friend.
Yeah, we kind of talk about it a lot as, you know, it seems like top 3 are in a division of their own when it comes to it. But this is a chance to see if that is all just speculation. You know, GCU, they've been turning a lot of heads for the power ranking people who kind of pull everything together, and I'm excited to see if they actually have what it takes to go up against a team, you know, defending champions, be all as well. So let's look at the head-to-head. Let's take a look. Both of these teams, Proper, undefeated going into this matchup. Only one can walk out with that same feat. It's going to be exciting to see what happens, but break it down. What are we looking at?
I mean, the one thing that obviously does scream out, or I guess the two things, maybe 3. Yeah, 3 for Dale. Is that, yes, both teams are undefeated when it comes down to series record. GCU having that one hardpoint loss and that one control loss is quite interesting, to say the least, because that is a stain when it comes down to teams that are still undefeated. It does end up kind of showing you just how close some of these, this team of GCU truly are against some of the other teams that they have already faced off against in the CCL.
It is for sure, and when you're the Lopes, you're going to have to step it up, nonetheless, to play against this team. But we'll talk about the Lopes later. Let's talk about the Braves, the defending champions from Cold War. You already made that known, Proper. You get a little bit of a change-up going into the 2022 season, but, I mean, you're still Ottawa. After that, you're looking at E2 and Ethan, 2 nice. Gunzy, Oop Tape Herbie, and Cruelty to round things out. This team, it is the real deal.
Yeah, some still say that Herbie can't not guard Sheen to save his life. I believe that is still the tale that I have been hearing and been reading a lot of different Twitch chats, but this one's going to be interesting. Look, Cruelty is one of the younger, brighter minds that we have in Call of Duty, even at the collegiate level. Dude is always grinding, right next to making sure that he's always got his studies to a fine tee. But what's really awesome for me personally coming into this year, this roster specifically, is Sap. Look, Gunzy, I've been really high on Gunzy ever since I watched him play in the Modern Warfare season when he actually ended up winning Modern Warfare Challengers champs underneath Carnage. Has been trying to find their own yet again. Never drop the sticks, always remain nasty. They are a Challengers elite player at the end of the day here in Season 2 for North America. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least, what this team is going to look like when they all are on for the map.
Let's take a look at their opponents for the night, because this is a team that's looking to go toe-to-toe with the best, the Lopes. GCU, you got Jams, Salviz, Klo, and Kenji. And by all means, these are players, you know, they don't have as much reputation as the Braves Proper, but with this matchup, they very well could put themselves on the map.
Maybe not, but Salviz is absolutely that guy. As far as individuals are concerned, for people that we have no idea who they are coming in towards the CCL 2022 season, Salviz is honestly making a very strong name for themselves. Klo is a guy that has been around for quite some time. Spent some time, I believe, on Aerial Rise, going back to Modern Warfare, and then actually found themselves in certain stints throughout Cold War in the Challengers circuit. It's also going to be rounded out, of course, by Jams and Kenji. They make a very good 4-player roster. Look, when I was casting over top of this team of GCU a few weeks ago, I was saying the same thing. I wasn't quite ready for what this team had to offer. I knew at least what Klo was able to do, and I was ready to write off that Klo was going to be the X factor for this team. But Self is just that guy again with the MP40 in a game like Vanguard, with the pace of what it's set up against. You're looking for anybody that's going to be able to go tip for tap versus this Braves roster. It's got to be Salviz.
I talked to Fishity yesterday, Proper, and he said that the Braves, I mean, they may be a different roster. Some might say easier than last year, but Ottawa is still Ottawa. So
Yeah.
you're going to have to step up big time if you're Salvez being that X factor. Let's take a look at the series. We got Tuscan Hardpoint to open things up. Map 2, Berlin Search and Destroy. Map number 3, we got Tuscan Controls. We head back to Tuscan. But for the distance, if it does go there, Hardpoint on Garatu and Bocage Search and Destroy.
This one's going to be awesome, especially through the first 3 maps. I mean, you get a lot of diversity, specifically when it does come down to that Berlin S&D. You can definitely throw your weight around as far as strategies are concerned, but I think what you're mostly going to be waiting for is to see how the chemistry does work for this Ottawa Braves roster, because, again, this is not the same roster, funny enough, that Gunzy is playing with in Challengers, and it does offer a certain instance about what does the practice honestly look like for this Ottawa Braves team, because we know that they have a fantastic facility over there. We got to see quite a bit of that in our grand finals last year for Cold War, but for GCU, a team that strictly plays with one another on a week-to-week basis, they might come in just a little bit more polished. I think you're almost just expecting for the overall gun skill to outweigh the other. It's much like what you were saying when you were talking to Fish, right? Is that it's not the same Ottawa Braves that we had last year with Noisy and co, but it's still the Braves at the end of the day.
Oh, you get rid of one Challengers player, and you get another one in Gunzy. You know, not just
champ,
any, not just any Challenger player, Challenger champ. So, I mean, you think about how practiced Ottawa's going to be. I'm sure they're going toe-to-toe with some elite teams. So, some good scrimmages going on over there, especially in that facility that you're talking about. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be curious on how warmed up GCU will be into this matchup, because the Braves, they better be warm, because I said it yesterday when I was watching the Braves in their matchup against ASU. I said, if you're going to go up against the King, better not miss. GCU, they are going up against the defending champs, the Kings of the CCL.
Let's see how it all plays out, and we'll end up being the Lopes there. Starting off on the favorite side, again, you have a better opportunity to be able to find yourself more favorable gunfights. 1-for-1 it will go, but the Gunzy just hits it. Gunzy's already on the flank. He's already behind enemy lines. He'll find 2. Ethan will clean up another one through the front. Break is already in. Still 30 seconds remaining here in the opening hardpoint.
Ams focusing on the rotation to 2, but dropping to Ethan is going to keep things in hand for the Braves. Looking back at this hill for the contention, Ethan's going to find a second on to Kenji. Around that 3 go down. It's looking flawless so far, and through the middle of the map, Herbie locking things down for the rotation. So far, so good for the Braves.
They'll maintain those P2 spawns as well, Colin. And this is where you're going to feel very scared if you are GCU so far, is that they're still hitting for scrap. Look at the spread across the map. We're going to have one player just all the way down over by maps. That's going to be Hoop. And for Ottawa, when it comes down towards their setup, they still have those close spawns. Hit is coming through from the backside of Church.
Gunzy, a lot to do back here. Lopes, they know they got to get this through, but here comes the help. It's another 2 down. 4v2 inside of this for GCU to try to flip things out, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen very easily. Spot spawns are going to come through. Salvez is going to find Gunzy. 31 seconds. This breaks. Got to come fast. Cruelty. Fucking tail. Trying to stay alive through this. Ethan loses the 1-on-1 around the outside, but teammates come up big. 3 go down once more. Cruelty still collecting this time on the inside while all of this is running through, and up to 60 seconds to the 15. Now Braves are spawning GCU back inside of that tank spawn, and they're going to get the rotations early to Fountain as well.
Yeah, they will. It's like you said right there. If the break didn't come through right then and there, GCU were going to find themselves in a little bit of a blunder of the spawn trap. It's luckily enough that they were able to get out of said blunder when they did. Kenji found some very unfortunate timing. Gunzy through the middle of the map will clean things up, as Ethan will be looking for some timing here with the fall. Can't even lock down the first, but it kind of softens things up for Cruelty. End up finding the first inside of that fire alley, but watch out for the spawns now. GCU are actually flying across this map inside of Zig, and although Ethan might find some time to be able to get in from behind a vine, it got really scary. The Lopes really could have broken on in, and they're still messing with the north and south spawns, the closer ones over by the rooftops.
I think it's important that they're keeping the Braves off the hill for a few seconds. It is going to have to force these gunfights if anybody wants time. Cruelty's out in the back. Nice shots from Jams. Flies forward. Can't find a second. Salvez is there to clean up, and Lopes are going to be in for time for the time being. Salvez knocking it behind there. Oh, unlucky Gunzy. I don't know where that nade came from, but I bet you wish you had that back. Nonetheless, they will get the scrap time, and Braves are going to push closer to 100 points. Eyes are going to be on Church for this rotation, as GCU, they're going to be here first.
We'll be here first, but you got to be able to win consecutive gunfights back to back, and that's a great opening. Kenji for 2. It's a 9 already. Another hit coming through from the backside of P5. The only question is, how much did Jams on us to see? Did they see one or did they see two? Either way, it needs to be picked up. Up on top bunks. Absolutely barn burner of a gunfight. Ethan will walk away with that one as the pitch is starting to come through.
Ethan, side door. 2 in a row. Make it 3. The Volk putting in work. 1 player left around the outside. Ethan looking to clean him up, and he does. 4 straight kills for the player. He's going to be pushing down towards these streaks. 97 and counting for the Ottawa Braves to the 46 of the Lopes. He set up the crossfire, finds 2. Can he find 3? No, but Gunsy's here to clean up, and again, it's a full wipe in favor of Ottawa. Spawning in the back now will be GCU, as again, the Braves manipulating these spawns to their will.
And you could just continuously keep it contested. Look, the leader's advantage, even though we're only 4 hills deep inside of the first set, Colin, it's already so big that GCU have been struggling to be able to find these consecutive and consistent gunfights against the Braves. And when it comes down to the 10-second mark, that's when the Braves are able to recognize, hey, it's time to just chalk it. Just go on over towards 5, get ourselves a little bit of a setup. Biggest player that might be able to make an influence will end up being Jams, who's in an off-screen gunfight versus Cruelty. It's coming out from radio, of which Ethan in this Volk, like you said, putting in work on an 8th spree. That's both streaks in their back pocket, and the hit from the opposite side is still coming through. Jams is still trying to find where Cruelty is located at, but by all this time has finally gone through. Ottawa have already secured 30 seconds on P5.
Look, like Andy, I woke up this morning to a message from Fishity talking about the series yesterday, and he said he wasn't expecting them to take out the Volk, especially Ethan. And looking at him, 18 and 6 with this weapon, he's like, man, I expect this to be GA'd very soon anyways, so he's not worried about that for the next time around. But in this Volk putting in work and beyond, 157 to 57 of GCU heading into the second set of rotations. I mean, this is just Ottawa numbers.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is just what we've come to expect. A whole 100-point plus some extra there at the end. Ethan finding value. Still on a 13 spree, by the way. Give him number 14. Yeah, why the hell not? I'm going to go right back towards this corner. Anybody going to clean up Ethan here at the end? Actually, might find some timing coming through the backside of church that they wanted. There in the
15.
front side, and Ethan is just slamming everybody through the floorboards. 15 in a row, 23 and 6 for the kid. Might find some timing again. In towards the back they go. And keep in mind, while all this is happening, the rest of the Braves, they got their feet kicked up over by P1, just finding sufficient time.
Oh, they're Bing chilling right now. Because I was wondering how far Ethan would go on that streak. Forget about the score. He got 16 in a row before dropping. Typical numbers indeed. As finally a flurry of kills go the way of GCU, but they're not able to convert that into time whatsoever. Braves, they eclipse 200 points. They are going to flip things out, though, for the spawns into P2. But at this point, I mean, you said it yourself. I mean, they are kicking their feet up. They are big chilling, and they got streaks to worry about as well. So here comes the hammer. Ethan dropping the glide bomb. Doesn't find anything. In fact, that's a big turnaround for GCU. They find 3 kills instead.
Look, the one simple fact is that Ethan not only didn't find value with the glide, they also lost their life on the backside of church. So now GCU are actually messing with the close spawns, and I'm trying to set this up the best way I possibly can for the Lopes, because they need a full 60 here on P2. They have to deal with all these players, and so far it's not going so well. Kenji brings out the Volk. He'll find one. There's another one right around the corner. Double negative for sure, but finding the kills when it's necessary to get some big time. Braves will actually flip on out, so they'll be able to reinforce this a little bit faster, but GCU are able to deal with it for the time being.
But it looks like this gun's just got the magic touch. I don't know what it is about it. Flo's got one as well. I mean, this gun it looks like it's the wave at the moment for these players. In for the break are the Braves for the last 15 seconds. Still a toss-up on who's going to get it, but it looks like Ethan will solidify the last 10 seconds. You gotta look at the fountain, and this just brings it back to the day-old phrase for casters. Perfect hard point against the Braves. It seems impossible, but that's what we have to see out of the Lopes.
Well, they're in for 3. All right, at least looking at a setup, and Jams is able to find 2 coming into map, so this is actually quite good for them. But they have to be able to read where the spawns are coming from, which is smack dab in the middle of the map, so the setup might come through to try to break things early, but maybe a little bit too late. Better late than never, I would say. Clean kill feed coming through for the Lobes as they sent the Braves packing for the time being.
Okay. I dig it. You know, I rate it. It's not going to be a 100-point club against the number 4 team. But even still, like Mount Everest, which you're climbing right now, still 25 seconds. It's no longer winnable on Fountain, but Herbie's going to take one last swing at this. Kenji's going to shut him down. The win condition, I mean, the winner's advantage, definitely in factor for the Braves. They're going to be set up for church, and this is going to need to be a bully session for GCU if they want to break in.
Oh, and Cruelty. They got the Volk now. Everybody's got the Volk now. It's
Why
gotta be a
not?
little bit of a bait and switch. Ethan with a Volk of their own still has a strafe if they're feeling it. But all while the kills are coming through, just 20 seconds remaining. Now a pinch play might develop itself. Coming through for GCU. They gotta break now.
Elvis finds the break. Oop did trade. And for time, could it be GCU for the moment, but now you gotta slay out instead of a very close Cordy Hill. Around the outside, Kenji 4 in a row, but Ethan in with the help of Gunzy. 14 seconds left for the Braves to put this one in the history books. Gunzy just sitting down prone, waiting for the break to come on through. Ethan holds off the front line, laying down. Gunzy can't find the kill, but the backup is going to be there. Kenji goes down, and that's going to be Ottawa Braves putting away Tuscan Hardpoint.
We started off with one Volk, and then by the end, we had like 4 on the field. It's just everybody in the CCL loves this weapon. It's so funny. Fishity, what have you done? What have you done, Fishman?
I said it yesterday, proper. I mean, it just seems like he's a trendsetter at this point. I mean, you talk about it's like his one defining trait is that every single time we see Fishity in a title, he always finds that off-meta weapon, and he always makes it look like the best gun of the game. And you know, I think it was it last week that he just absolutely tore up the field with the Volk. Now everybody's using it. He's a trendsetter.
Dude, if I have a man bun, then I'm here to honestly tell you that Fishity is the hipster of setting up the gun meta when it comes down to the CCL. Look, it's just one of those things that we're, not to go on a complete tangent about just like the weapons in general, but even all the way up to the pro level, like nobody's using it because it technically will lose to the MP40. That gun jumps on you, and you have to put some very interesting attachments on it just to make it even viable. And the difference in between that gun comparatively to the automaton specifically is that you end up looking at the sprint to fire speed, but to make that weapon as effective as it is, you do have to make it heavier, you have to make it slower, but players are just becoming more comfortable with it. It's one of those weapons that if you find value with it, sure, you might as well use it, but all the way up to the highest level of play, it'll end up losing those longer range gunfights of the automaton, and it'll lose very close range battles with the MP40. It just comes down to the user as a whole, which Ethan absolutely was the user. 28 non-traded kills out of the 33 that they found. It went on that 16 spree, Colin, and even more so than that, it really felt like all of GCU had no answer until we went down towards that P2 hill in the final set.
The ever so evolving Call of Duty meta that we see all year long. I definitely thought it was going to be a 2-gun meta, but I mean, who knows? Maybe the Volk's going to slip on through inside of this. But let's take a look at the maps. You know, we get a little bit of a look at the stats. By the way, stop leaving the lobbies. We want to see your stats. Even if you don't do good, it sets up the storyline and everything. But we're looking at Berlin Search and Destroy next for map number 2. A 250 to 145 in the hardpoint is going to bring us here. And one thing to look out, I mean, GCU, silver lining, you don't get 100-point clubbed. It seems like every single time we see Ottawa, they're 100-point clubbing teams on hardpoint. You go over that this time. 145, it's honest numbers against a team as good as the Braves. But now you need to bounce back into Search and Destroy. What are you looking at, proper?
Yeah, I mean, let's be candid here. When we go through all of the stats, just try to go there with me through as far as stage 1, and from what we've seen so far from the Braves, their Search and Destroys have been closer than their hard points. And what I mean by that is that their hard points have been, as you say, just in a 100-point club more often than not. But their Search and Destroys, they've been winning by 2 rounds at most, and that is a lot more competitive than where a lot of teams have been placing themselves here in the CCL. And you would think between the 3 and the 4 that might be an opportunity coming through from GCU. I mean, again, they're undefeated for a reason, and the only non-defeated game mode that they have out of all 3 is Search and Destroy. That has to be a strong suit coming forward for the Lopes out of Grand Canyon University if they want to try to even things up, maybe even catch the Braves by surprise here.
I think, the Braves, they always surprise me. And yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of the time, Search and Destroy, it's their closest game mode out of all of them. But yesterday, we saw them 6-0 sweep ASU inside of Search and Destroy. The map is definitely kind of outside of my memory. I can't remember what map it was, but 6-0 over a team like ASU, it's something to be afraid of when you're looking at Ottawa Braves. I mean, we talk about this team, definitely new roster going into 2022, and they're going to be gaining more chemistry as the year goes on, proper. And now, if you're the Lopes, this is kind of one of those maps where you need to win it almost. This needs to be where you take a map off of the Braves, and if you can do that, I mean, man, the stocks for the Lopes, they would go through the roof.
They absolutely would, right? I mean, to be able to not only take a map off the Braves, but also make an argument for obviously being a top 4 team, you definitely want to, not get demoralized, as you did get put in the blunder through that first set of hard points there on the Tuscan hard point. But I think it's going to say more about the competition for GCU going forward, is that they are almost at the top of the totem pole, right? I mean, they're a top 4 team in many people's eyes, but you can't honestly take that to heart until you actually see all the competition unfold, specifically versus the Braves. When we end up getting down towards playoffs and we get GCU versus Northwood versus Bay, I mean, that's where things are going to get even crazier as far as what the competition might honestly look like. The top 3 teams might honestly have a different bar set, and the skill gap might be that much more different comparatively to everybody else, but still yet to be decided. Again, Berlin Search and Destroy, definitely an opportunity for GCU to come alive, specifically from their AR departments, almost dissuade and deny Ottawa from just, well, to be frank here, running at them.
Look, Ottawa versus Bay State, Northwood, whenever those matchups come out, I'm afraid CCL might break the internet. That's for the future. Let's talk about the here and now. Post plants, it's going to be big for GCU. Get that bomb down at B, get the setup immediately. The Braves are definitely going to be pressure on, and Ethan, he's got the boomstick out. Here comes the swing, misses shot number 1, but still pressure's going to be through, gets the information, and is feeding it on to Gunsy, who is just waiting for a chance to strike. The set nade's going to be out, right on in, finds Jams, and looking for the second as well. Selfish, can he get away? He is away for now, but down a player, you're in the danger zone for the Lopes.
Yeah, you sure are. Nades are coming through on the opposite side, though. Close going to be able to clean up Gunsy, but nobody was waiting for the flank. Hoop finds the timing, but Kenji, the flank of the flank, ends up taking down Hoop, 2v2.
Very scrappy. The bomb's down. Lopes, they have to make a move. Braves, they know this. They got the kill. Gunsy knows that player was on the inside, looking to take down Cruelty, but reads Kenji like a book. 1v2 for Chloe. Has the Volk in hand. Is it the magic weapon that you need? Ethan's got the sniper, looking for the quick subs. Tagged up, down from Chloe. Looking to push the advantage, but all this, he's allowing Cruelty to set up in a great position. 23 seconds. Cruelty's here. He's on the Godheady with the auto in hand. Chloe is tagged up. 18 seconds. You gotta make a move.
Yeah, you sure do. And that move has to be get that bomb and plant that bomb. But even Austin, he's pushing the advances. Look, he knows exactly what you have to do. The windows have been decimated at this point in time. Not enough time to go for the plant. Cruelty just has to check it. Oh, you just got to stay alive. Oh, my goodness. I honestly thought that he was going to get smoked at the end of those double doors. But look, Cruelty's going to stay alive. And that got a little scary there towards the end. Typically, you'll see a lot of players just almost force out the issue to say, look, go ahead and plant that bomb. I'll wait for the final time to catch you as you're trying to put that bomb down and wait for your gun to come back out to get that advantage going forward. But I think you're mostly looking at just Gunsy with that nice little nade that came through that B-Hut window to deny the initial plan and left that bomb in a precarious position. Now it's their turn for an offense. Here come the Braves. Gunsy will be carrying that bomb. Ethan still holds that boomstick. They know that one player got aggressive in here. It's actually Jams that does find that first point. And Kenji, from downtown, ends up taking down the top warehouse player.
That was P5. What's up with these snipes coming from P5? You never expect it. By the time you do, it's a little bit too late. Hoop Day Perby, he's brought this one back. Finds a kill onto Kenji to even us up. But the bomb is down all the way on Boulevard. I don't think the Lopes are going to be aware of this. You can see how disconnected the two of them are. And Jams, I mean, you just need to sit and wait because you're in a fantastic position and you just can't afford to lose your life.
Moves that it has to be recovered. 30 seconds for the play. Bomb will be scooped up. But Jams is just playing this corner. Oh. Hey. Okay. It's just a door. Don't worry about it. I was afraid.
Peekaboo.
But the door has eyes, and it's Jams from behind. Who's going to go down? Cruelty 1v2.
Sounds like a scary horror movie.
Really?
Can he make this happen? I mean, he has the bomb, but time's away, and I'm sure GCU, they know that he's going to be in here. I mean, it's only a matter of time. You got player number 2 just around the outside. Cruelty. How has he not seen this? Cephas not aware that he's going to do this. Now, Cat with the bomb in hand, trying to put it down. It's going to be GCU to bounce back and put themselves on the board.
I mean, Cruelty's one and only play right there. Is just try to maybe bait out the timing until it comes down to 4 or 5 seconds or so, and then just if they don't get challenged, maybe you just try to lay down the rock. But On the opposite side, like I was saying, Selvis has been that guy for me when it comes down to GCU. Knows their timings when it comes down to search and destroy. That it was the only play going forward, just to play against the clock itself and just wait for that fine timing to come all the way through. Just check it. It was the only play to extend the round. Defense for defense we go. First bloods and shutting down mid-map. Almost everything. Kenji broke out the Volk. Did it first. Ethan still has the boomstick. Be able to find some timing here. The hesitation on the shot, and the second one just a bit behind. Gunzy's in a position to maybe shut down the plan again.
And you're hoping he can go big and with a slow approach. Jams, bomb in hand, and Gunzy denies it again. And Ethan, he's going to land that shot finally with the sniper. Turning it into a 4v2. See a lot to work on if you are GCU, but that is a fantastic start at Kenji, who's found his way all the way deep into the spawn. Is going to find at least one to answer this back. If you've gotten a second one, that is definitely going to open up an opportunity for Klo to find something next. Maybe 3v2, you can start seeing the Braves tuck themselves away and start playing together.
Again, what's most crucial is that the bomb is patty caked inside of that B hut, so you almost have to make this play. And who definitely saw that majestic fur coat. It's actually Ethan that cleans things up inside of the lobby. Player number 1 is going to be Klo inside of fire. We'll find one trying to escape with their life. 17 seconds remaining. Has to be able to get inside his hut and get the bomb plant. They're not going to read that Gunzy's inside the building. Almost snaps onto him, but Gunzy will gun them down. And it's really just if you don't deal with Gunzy in that position defensively over by the B hut, it's going to offer just so many different opportunities, much like what you saw right there. This time they push all the way through in the backside of the boathouse. Lay down what is typically a post-plant situation for the offensive team and just waits, knowing that the bomb has to be scooped up and planted at B to extend the round.
And that's 2 rounds that Ethan and Gunzy have played like that. So I'm sure GCU, being a team like them at number 4, they're going to bookmark that. They're going to remember that for the next offense. So looking for some switches in the future. Braves take another swing over at B. Gunzy this time very fast. James is going to spot him. Warning shots. Stay away, Gunzy. No, he's going to stay put. He's going to drop that bomb and look at the post plan is already set up for the Braves.
Flank might be red as well. This really just comes down to whether or not Cruelty clears all the way on the backside of the 4.
He doesn't know.
He's not going to know. Kenji's actually going to gun him down. Does have the Vulcan play. And Ethan Q, nice, will not be living in the rest of this round. And Gunzy's being sought out. Has to force out the challenge. Now it's all Hoop. 1v3 in a post-plan situation. Bomb's being defused. Hoop's not aware of it. Doesn't want to be feeding more kills. Tries to go to check it. Not going to be able to get there in time, sadly enough. They did find one on the rotation on over towards the bomb, but timing, numbers, not in the favor. We continue to trade defense for defense.
No, and I can't even believe Herbie still finds that kill. Close it out. That was a much-needed round at a GCU, but it's always scary, no matter how many players are up for the Braves. So 2-3 we go, or 2-2 we go, back even. And remember, GCU, they have to remember, they have to bookmark that the play that Ethan and Gunzy are playing over towards that B site.
We're going for the offense here for GCU. Going back over towards B. Like Ethan still has that sniper in play, watching that B lane. Barrels will explode. And off of that little bit of utility being thrown, they thought that they might have called out for the rotation, but you still got players over here defensively for the Braves.
Herbie looking to at least walk away with one, but a player of his caliber, he can get more. Nice bait and switch out of Jams to find it, but it is a trade out of Cruelty. Keep them even at 3. The bomb not picked up from these players either proper, so you are going to have to recover that to get this one down, but it does look like GCU, they want to brawl a little bit beforehand. Nade from Klo, not going to find anything. Bomb is down in a very unfortunate situation to pick this one up, and Cruelty in a power position. Oh, Gunzy gets graced with Kenji's positioning, and that's going to be numbers now. Klo, a team kill. How does that even happen? I bet you wish you had that one back, and all of a sudden the Lopes, they are very, very sad. After all, 25 seconds and 1v3, you know exactly where his Klo is, and you have every avenue on lock. Cruelty's going to slide on in, and he's going to put this round down.
Man. That one forced team kill, whether it was forced or not, I don't even actually see what ended up happening. It's just unfortunate, really. That ends up coming through a very winnable round. You would think the bait play was perfect, but they did not take that bait for the Braves. They saw all of the barrels coming through, and most importantly, what is a standard setup. I'm just being candid here. It was a standard defensive setup for Ottawa. You just rely on Ethan, who's holding that B lane with a sniper every single round. Nobody crosses, even off of the nades and everything that was thrown. Smokes are G8. You're not covering that cross. Ethan just a bit outside from that shot. Does see 2 players cross though, so they know it's a 2-2 split.
Big kill onto Gunsy from Selvis for first blood, the way of the Lopes. That's going to slow this offense down a little bit for the Braves, and doing one better. Jams finds Ethan just outside of mailroom, 4v2. This is a round that you cannot let up if you're GCU, but Jams gets a little bit over aggressive, and that's going to cost for a life. Kenji has made his way deep into the spawn, and he knows that this is not an A hit, so you know all eyes are going to be on B.
They're getting trapped. And you can see what Herbie's trying to do here, right? Try to get in the backside of the warehouse, clear out the flank, because Kenji's been back here every single round defensively. Just comes down to timing and being able to check it. Oh, that's so awkward for Kenji. Just shouldn't be in that popcorn for you trying to climb up that ladder there, my friend. They will be taken down. The play's now in the middle of the map. 25 seconds remaining. You got to commit to A.
That opens up the A site, totally. Nice shots at a Clo. Cruelty with the bomb. Is he going to put it down? Is he going to dedicate himself? No, he's going to play the heady.
Nice
1v1. Bomb's going down. Selvis, he's going to let this one through as well. Cruelty, where is he going to go off the post plan? Oh, he's just going to sit there. Nice. Tagged on up. Selvis going to go in for seconds. It's a dance with the devil. Cruelty being that. Selvis going to slide on in, and Cruelty, he's a devil for a reason. He's going to push Ottawa up by 2.
I tell you, again, like I was saying at the top of the broadcast, like a lot of people, when they take a look at this Ottawa roster, hell, even last year, and the same could be said for a lot of these young players in the CCL. But I mean, Austin Cruelty is in fact that guy. He's very, very smart, knows when to chow, knows when to play for the bait plays, especially in Search and Destroy. It's just absolutely a marvel to watch. It's been fantastic, honestly speaking, being able to see what Cruelty is able to do, even just last season at the same time. Uses the bomb site as the head glitch, baits out the initial challenge, thinking that he's committing towards the bomb plant, had ample time to still plant that bomb.
Nerdy.
And baits out the challenge soon to follow. Doing a very long-range gunfight. Just warning shots. Herbie hits it inside of the concourse. We'll go 1 for 1. The bomb still dropped inside of the A site, though.
More importantly, that's going to slow things down for Cruelty to readjust spots. The head of Selvis slowing this down even more. Doesn't find the kill, but denies that plant. While this is happening, keep your eyes on the minimap. You see Gunsy is on the flank. He's got everybody cornered in the back. Clo's going to find Ethan. Going to force Gunsy now to fly. Shots at range, man. A little bit ugly. But he is going to definitely put some pressure on that. Gunsy now last alive. Bomb's going down. Kenny's actually read this perfectly. He's going to run right through the middle of the map, get right in behind this post plant. Kenji looking the wrong way. Gunsy doesn't find the kill again. Into the middle of everything. Finds Selvis 1v1. Knows where Kenji is. He's going to be on the hunt. The time he's going to be down 32 seconds to make this happen. Gunsy is definitely the player you want to have in this situation. Kenji's going back up top. Timing's bad. And Gunsy, he's that guy too. Another one-on-one for the Braves going their way.
Dude, the fact that Gunsy still had his stun in his nade to be able to at least stun check that the push wasn't coming through the immediate back staircase, finds the timing to get back down towards statue, and then gets back up to the upper courtyard. I mean, if you're Selvis, right, or if you're anybody, I don't care at that point. How would you ever expect, for one, that Gunsy still has all utility? For two, to get the timing, it goes back down to see both flanks were at least kept clean. And the moment that Gunsy comes back up the staircase, why would you look there? You would assume, everybody would assume that you would be inside the bomb site at that point. Gunsy just plays that to a fine tee. 6 and 4. Ethan, sniper again. Looking at this B lane, looking like a B committal up on map point of the Braves.
It's the little things. Proper.
It is.
And it adds up. Herbie, he's gonna fly. Oh my god. Selvis just got smoked. And Ethan, the set nade's gonna find Jams as well on the exit. 1v3. Clo, do you have it in you? All the way deep in enemy territory. Bomb is down. Trapped in the Bermuda Triangle. That is Ottawa Braves positioning on the map. He's gonna find this. Ethan slides out, a little bit shaky, still finds the kill. 1v2. No, he doesn't pick up the bomb. He's gonna have to go back in for second. Spots out Herbie. 1v1. Cruelty versus Clo. This is for the map. Can GCU stay alive? He's actually tucked himself in a very good situation. He's got 32 seconds. He's got plenty of time to work with proper, and Cruelty's just guessing. Spots it out, and Clo! Oh my word! A 1v3 against the best to keep you alive.
Why did Kenji leave? The game wasn't over yet.
No way.
Yeah, that's it. You didn't see that they only had 3 players, man.
I didn't see it. I was enjoying the 1v3.
They got 3 players. Yeah, Chloe went on the 1v3. Kenji just dipped.
Come on, guys. A wise man once said, it's never chalked.
What the hell? I mean, they have to play this now as a 3v4.
They do.
Like, it's so awkward, but funny at the same time. Herbie. Oh, babe, there's the door that's open. Gonna be waiting. It's the info. The chow comes through. Pinch on the opposite side. This is being watched from Cruelty on the other side.
I mean, Chloe is in a great spot. Even us up. 3v3. There doesn't know Cruelty is set up. He's going to peek out right to his death. Bomb's going down. Jams is going to secure that. Timing's going to be in. Nice shots from Cruelty to keep Jam a little bit respected, but Nade Barrage going to come through. 1v3 this time. Jam season. Is it Jam season? Or is it Brave season at the moment? MP40 in hand. Time in your hand. Going to find a second. Flies back on in, spots out Gunzy. Doesn't know where he's going to come from, and Gunzy peeks out the right way. Ethan's going to hop the defuse, and Braves, they're going up 2-0.
Kenji left this team in a 3v4 to start things off, bro. It's never chalk. What is that? They were up on map point, and there were a lot of rounds that, honestly, GCU probably had a lot of frustrating endings to them, but I mean, that's just, I'll say what it is, man. That's not cool. That's not cool, man. You left your team in a 3v4, excuse me, and Chloe clutches up in a 1v3 to extend the game. I'd be having some words if that was my team. Colin, if you ever do that to me and we're playing an SCD wager, we're playing ranked or something, bro, our friendship is chalk. It is over, man. That is, woo. That sucks.
And it's to the end. You got to ride it out. Even when it's stacked against you, you have to ride it out. It might not always be pretty, but I mean, you're the number 4 team. You have expectations to uphold. And even though you're going up against the Ottawa Braves, defending champs, I mean, that's just, you can't have that at all. You said it best. It's just not cool whatsoever. I can only imagine the comms going into that round. Hey, I mean, they made a show out of it proper. I mean, it wasn't totally one-sided, even though it was a 3v4, but I mean, a 3v4 against Ottawa, they are not going to let that one go.
There's a lot of cool rounds in there, though. I will say that much. I mean, it was Gunzy over by the B site, and you honestly got to see a lot of the strengths from Ottawa Braves as a whole. Just to bring it back in for a second, I honestly, it is typical to say the least. Look, we will always say that the Lopes, they've had a great season so far, but this was going to be the biggest test, not only for the Braves, but also for GCU at the same time. They've only dropped 2 maps, now a total of 4 off of the 2 in this series alone. This is a good test. This is going to be good VOD for them to go back and finally learn off of what they can possibly do going forward. But even more so than that, a lot of cool rounds coming out from Ottawa, a lot of crucial moments where you got to truly recognize why they are highly considered to be some of the best AMs out there right now, Colin. Very respectable, I will say the least, especially from that one round out of Cruelty, where they were able to play their life, get the bait play, and were able to return the fire back, just all off of the just one heady on the bomb site itself inside of A. Not to mention how much value Gunzy was finding almost untradeable at certain times over by those docks. It's just, for a team that plays a lot with other players, this team looks like they cannot skip a beat with one another.
No, they look fantastic, and they are not slowing down. Folks, we're headed back to Tuscan again for map number 3. A quick little break before that. We'll see you on the flip side. Folks, welcome back to the Alpha stream. We got the number 3 Ottawa Braves up 2-0 over the number 4 GCU Lopes. My name is Seymour. Alongside me, Proper. I mean, this has been a very big one-sided affair over to the way of the Braves, but that usually is how it goes here in the regular season when the Braves are on screen. Now, Lopes, if they want to bring this back, it has to be the biggest reverse sweep of their COD career.
Oh man, it would be massive, right? I mean, implications aren't totally there. I'm sure that GCU, when we're considering the odds here in the West Division, the top division, if you will, coming into Stage 2 of the CCL, will probably be a top 18. We will more than likely see this team in playoffs because they are highly regarded. I mean, they're number 4 ranked in our top 25 power rankings from the committee that takes part in all of that. And honestly speaking, Colin, I definitely think that they do have the chops to be a top 4 team overall when it comes down to playoffs as well. It's going to be a very long end of the season, but it's going to have to be a very long reverse sweep, and it's going to have to be here on Tuscan Control. And what worries me is that the one benefactor of Berlin Search and Destroy reigning back in Ethan was the simple fact that he just never put away the Kar 98K. I think there was like maybe one round that he was just like, you know what, screw it, I'll put away the Kar 98K. Maybe he picked up another weapon, he found value with it, but now we're back in Volk City, baby. Like the Volk, the beginning of that Tuscan Hardpoint, we saw just Ethan with it, and by the end we saw about 4 of them. Even Cruelty got in all the fun as well. And if they don't shut down what Ethan was bringing to the table there in that Tuscan Hardpoint, I mean, this might be just a very quick 3-0, not only in the series record, but also in the Control.
I mean, he was bringing a whole slew of things with that, indeed. But let's take a look at the maps, indeed, a little bit of a refresher of what we had. Yeah, it's been a quick one, but like you said, we're heading to Tuscan Control for that map. Number 3, what you missed if you're just tuning in was Braves' dominance. They didn't 100-point club in the hardpoint, but it was 250 to 145 inside Tuscan hardpoint. You said it yourself, the Volk. I mean, Ethan was looking different. He went on 16 kills in a row inside of that map. Berlin Search and Destroy. Not the same showing with Ethan, but I mean, he did have the Kar 98K, and the rest of the teammates, they were doing the Lord's work inside of that. 6-3 into it to close this one out. As we're just hyping up for this Tuscan Control, it is going to have to be some lights out Call of Duty from the Lopes if we want to see Gavitu Hardpoint, let alone Bokosh Search and Destroy. And that kind of brings it all through. I mean, towards the end of that hardpoint, I mean, they played the back half a lot better than they played the front halves for GCU. And, I mean, it was the Volk. They all brought out Volk. So maybe in this Control, that's what we're looking at for the recipe to success. Just bring out the broken gun.
It's not broken. Stop. It's not the Volk. It's the mental. Come on, man. I think that when you're GCU, I think when you're a lot of teams, I mean, you have to recognize, yes, these are scary players to go up against. I'm not saying that I could gun any one of them unless it's Parker. I'm absolutely gunning you, Parker. But I think at the end of the day, when you're looking at teams like Ottawa, Bay State, and Northwood, you just can't be afraid. Like, they're just another set of opponents on the other side of the screen from you. And you have to be able just to come and play your game, try to play as fundamentally sound as you possibly can, and just try to come out swinging. Look, if you lose, you lose. You have VOD to study off of, but you've got to give your all coming forward. Will end up being Ottawa on offense first and foremost. Middle map coverage is going to be looked at by Herbie. They're going to immediately push inside Church. The rest of their team are setting up across the ruin side. Big first 2 engagements quickly to be traded out by Jams. Sell off this offense ever so.
Well, it's a 2 for 2 for the breakoff, denying progress towards A. But Herbie finds Glow, sneaks into the Church. There's a look for map control by the Braves at the moment. Gunzy peeks on out. It's 3 down. Onto the B zone we go. Cruelty and Ethan stop the clock at 1:07. Lives only down by 1, and what a slide from Zelviz. Big shots on Ethan. It's going to close things out. Cruelty now on an island as the cleanup crew comes through. We're going to be heading back to the drawing board for the Braves.
Back to the drawing board indeed, but you saw players pushed up. Gunzy is over by Patio, and Jam's just like, dude, what are you doing on top of that barrel, bro? I was
down from there.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to pressure wash this entire area, man. We can get out of here. But Ottawa coming back in towards things. They're able to work off the reinforcements, get themselves back over towards A. Might just be a second tick of progress unless Clo can take down Cruelty, of which they do in kind. Herbie will take down that trade, but now we're down to 48 seconds, 20v20, and Ottawa desperately need to convert one of these zones to extend the game clock.
A little bit of over-aggression from the Braves, and GCU puts them in check. Rightfully so. Kenji sliding around with the tension. A-Zone gets captured, so they stack the site. Add another minute to the clock. Lives even. Braves push it by 1. But now you're looking at GCU to dig deep into B. This is a very hard point to push out. And by all means, this could be where GCU finds their defensive round.
Might just be, but you already have that tick of progress to speak of over at B. A minute 20 left to do this. 2-life lead now for the Braves up on offense, and they are just pushing the envelope so far forward. Herbie's all the way in the backside of column, trying to put themselves in a position to maybe deal with a couple of reinforcements coming back down, and Ethan is that player that's watching the exit from radio to make sure that nobody gets back in towards top screen scot-free. The trades coming through across the B zone are going to be favorable continuously for GCU to make sure that the Braves are always going back to the drawing board and not hitting B with numbers.
Cruelty cooks the nade right over the shoulder, Jams. Shoulder peek, Cruelty goes down, in for a second, pistol and out, can't find the shot. Gunzy slides on in, finds a second as well. And there's the green light to go. Herbie's gonna jump on in, stop the clock at 42. Selvis does walk away with one, but it's Gunzy 3 in a row to completely open this one up. Now it Lopes off the respawn. They gotta go big to get their foot on ground as well. James is on the flank, so could spoil the fun for the Braves. In the meantime, though, Gonzi's still pressuring out the respawns. It's 8 lives to 6, and 3 kills come out from the Lopes. 21 seconds left. I mean, this is their last chance for the Braves to push this B zone.
Last chance. 6v6. 13 seconds. You just have to get on there and extend the clock. But Gunzy's going to hit the long route coming through inside of church and find a little bit of an isolated engagement. But this has to be blind trust. 4 seconds, and you got to move. They're down to no more respawns remaining. Herbie finds 2, but nobody's in a position to get on towards that B zone to stall out that clock. Still finding those 2 kills coming out. So massive within its own self. We'll keep things just about even if it means to come down to around 5.
It's a big round from the Lopes, you know. You had an unfortunate end to map number 2, and not the best start to map number 1. So you want to start off hot into the control. You know, might be even in lives, but it's just a feel-good round win on defense. You know, you walk away with it. Now you swap over to the offense. You see if you can put a dent in the Braves early. Breakoff's going to be an important one. Cruelty finds the first. A nice nade. Chloe wants to push the agenda as well. But in fact, it's going to be Ethan to disengage, hop right back into it, take down Chloe, and then set up through the middle of the map. Braves looking for the break.
We're looking for the re-entrance. Herbie's actually going to find some timing through Zig. Maybe shooting a little bit too early. But now the lineup will be there. Oh, no. We got to at least be able to find that trade before those 2 kills start coming all the way through. Even more so than that, what the Lopes are able to do quite wonderfully indeed here, Colin, is that they're able to keep the clock stalled out. As soon as Gunzy tries to go for the Eagle Shell across A, that can take a progress will be coming through.
Yeah, silver linings. Lives are even. Time plentiful. Second tick's going to come on through. Front line locked down. Selvis takes down Cruelty. Spots out Ethan as well. The information's going to be coming through. It's 3 down. Make it 4 down. And the A zone, it is gone.
Falling by the wayside. 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 23v19. Double negative for Ethan. Uncharacteristic. 8 and 10 only for Cruelty as well. Now you got to somehow break this fortitude of, or this fortress of solitude, I should say, of the B zone. Well, that helps out. Somebody checks the barrel. Jams. Shows Gunzy exactly where you need to be at the right time to be on top of that barrel. 1 minute 55, and Selvis is in the back.
Oh, Selvis in such a good position. Spots out Cruelty. Gets the shots as well. Gunzy gonna get the trade. It's a pinstripe kill feed as well, but onto the B site they go. ECU stops the clock. Gunzy around the corner. What a shot on Kenji. In now for the contention. Gonna be denying the progress, and a little bit of ring around the rosy. Cruelty off the respawn. Comes to the rescue. Cleans up the help for Gunzy. Back to the drawing board goes the Lopes. 18 lives to 14. Minute 40.
Essentially just play against the lives at this point. But again, the call still has to remain here. That you need to be able to somehow get onto this B zone column to be able to stall out this clock. But early gunfights will be good. Cruelty will find one on top of the patio staircase. And you were all just trying to funnel through these very narrow choke points. This is a very long potential for a set play. Will be initially denied. NG will take down one in top bunks, but now you're just waiting for the reinforcements, and by that time has finally come through. 30 seconds remaining, 15v9.
3 go down. Green light to go. 6 lives for the Braves, and what an opening for the Lopes to stack the site. Looking for more of the respawn, a little bit of TDM action, but still a couple of respawns for the Braves to work with. It is never over. It is never chalked. Gunzy, Cruelty, they open things back up. Gunzy's on in to deny the progression. Is 3 down to rebuttal. 55 seconds now. Lopes, they got to double back and group up.
5 seconds. You can really only afford to give up 1, if not 2 lives, because you know you're probably going to have to re-enter this if GCU, again, find themselves a very strong opening. Every single time they've worked their way over here, Colin, they've at least walked away with 2 and gave themselves a small bit of an opportunity to try to get on the B zone.
Here they come. Everybody's grouped up. Gunzy gets ripped off. They're going to be flying on out as well. Cruelty needs to go big here. Hoop tape, tucked away. Clo's going to read it. On the inside, Selvis. 3 down again. 3 up for the Braves, but Kenji's going to push them even farther down the line. Hoop tape, Herbie, the last alive, and it looks like he is going to walk away with a little bit of a kill to end that out. But more importantly, Proper, a 2-0 from GCU. They find not only the defense, but they find an offensive win.
That's big within its own self, right? Yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, what you're mostly going to be recognizing is the opportunity that presents itself from an unforced error, is that Ottawa are just ego-chopping everything at this point. You know, they're just trying to call your bluff. GCU just throwing their bodies, more or less. And GCU are absolutely the debt collectors. They are collecting off of these unforced errors that are constantly coming through. Just one defensive round away. And GCU will get themselves in the series ever so slightly. It's going to be an A-zone hit initially. Kenji finding an opportunity, at least for the time being, over by you. 2 players actually over here. Kenji will collect on Cruelty yet again. 1 more player over here. It's going to be Herbie if he wants it, but while this is all happening, Ethan is also showing presence through Zig.
I mean, this isn't any opportunity that presents itself. We talked about it yesterday, Jesse and I. I mean, this is an Ottawa Braves who haven't dropped a map since their tenure in CCL. All through Cold War. All through Vanguard. You find a map here, it's going to be a statement. At a GCU, jams it behind. Ethan doesn't know. A minute 10 on the board. 26 lines to the 24 of Ottawa Braves. You can see Hoop Tape Herbie's going to hop on for progression towards A. Looks like the rest of the team here to stack that as well. In the A-zone, it is going fast. Ottawa looking to stamp another minute on board.
It should come through. The only issue is, are they going to read that there's a full 2 players over here? Clo's actually going to commit, get behind enemy lines entirely.
I'm not cleaning it up.
Yeah, it's not even going to be necessary. I mean, at the end of the day, they really thought that those 2 players behind were probably going to get that A zone. But now the kills are being cleaned up by GCU. The 2 players that were left alive on the minimap, I think that was like Gunzy and Cruelty. They're like, what happened? And now the third tick of progress is gone. 45 seconds remaining in extensive life lead in favor for the Lobes.
Miscommunication, it goes a long way. And now look, Kenji up top, gonna find 1. It's 3 to answer back. Ottawa looking to finish off what they started over towards the A-zone, but there's a pinch here. There's a flank coming out of Clo. He's gonna slip on in. Ethan doesn't know. Killing behind. Gunzy's forced to double back. Look to put this one away into the books. Contention's gonna be through. Gunzy cleans him up. Still a player here to finish it off. Kenji keeping things going for the team. Doubles down to deny A again.
Oh no. Now Herbie has to make a magical play happen coming forward. Even almost up that he's Aladdin. He's got a genie in a bottle. Ready to grant his wish. Now, he should get information that there is a player on the B zone because it will be depleted. Gonna have a little bit of an off-screen engagement coming through. And all while this is going down, the rest of the players for Ottawa are getting gun, trying to work their way over towards A.
This is magnificent. Out of the Lobes, Cruelty goes down. Everybody's gonna go A. 6 seconds left. Gunzy's gonna slide on in. Spots at the player. Tagged up from a teammate. Can't finish the kill. Kenji, Clo, they find 2. 5.8 seconds. 4 go down. No, it's a teammate from Kenji. You still got a presence towards the A site. Cruelty goes down. Clo, you gonna slide on in. Numbers are here for GCU. Are they gonna finish this one off? Selvis from the flank. Picks up Hoop Tape. Clo finds the trade. Ethan's gonna go down. And Grand Canyon Esports, they're gonna take a map off of Ottawa. Something all teams in CCL couldn't do for the longest time ever. They're not only going to take a map off of the Ottawa Braves, but they're going to 3-0 sweep them on a Tuscan control.
This comedy, isn't it? I mean, like, Ottawa should have absolutely captured that A zone, what feels like on both of their offenses. Well, because they were getting a little bit too cute, and they were essentially probably telling themselves, let's just run at them, try to get these kills as quick as possible, they just get vanguarded. Everybody from GCU are playing corners. They're playing for the timings. They find that 1 kill. They end up pushing all the way forward. The pinch ends up coming through, and then all the players for Ottawa who are looking in one direction just simply cannot expect that the pinch is coming through at that very specific timing. For Ottawa going forward off of that, yeah, it's going to be a stain. That's their first map all year long here in CCL, the 2022 season, but even more so than that, I mean, GCU came out to play, and they wanted to make sure, look, it's not going to be a full-on sweep. We're going to force out this map 4.
It's something a lot of teams have been looking to do prior it. And, the fact that you do it, it's just going to make you feel a little bit better in that number 4 spot sitting in the power rankings, especially for the rest of the stage 2. It's a statement made from GCU that they're just not going to roll over easy, especially when you're looking to have fun inside the map. You look at the stats, and I mean, you said it after round number 1. Uncharacteristic out of Ethan. 10 and 24. Numbers you don't normally see. And I'm sure going into this Gavitu hardpoint that's up next, we are going to see a different attitude out of them.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it's all mental at the end of the day, isn't it? And this could potentially give some pep in the step for the Lopes. I mean, they already gallop so majestically, I'd assume. I've never actually seen an antelope in person. I kind of want to go look up a YouTube video to see how majestic that they truly stride. But even still, you got to be feeling pretty darn good because, again, these are good players represented here at Grand Canyon University. And it's one thing to be said just about the strength and the ability from what we've been able to see in previous matches when we assumed that things were going to be close. You go back to that matchup versus ASU. They looked amazing. Even though they got pushed to the brink, they were still able to collect themselves and show the grit that that truly is this Lopes roster. But we move over towards the map that could get a little weird, a little bit more AR dominant as we're preparing ourselves for this Gavutu hardpoint. Rotations are going to be bountiful. If your breaks aren't coming through for the initial hit, you're essentially going to have to chalk it and try to set yourself up for a strong setup going in towards another hill. And you go back towards that Tuscan hardpoint. You saw it right there, 251-45. It was about to be, what was it, like a 120-point lead going in towards the second set in favor of the Braves. Even more so than that, for GCU, every single time that they had a setup until the very end, it was just getting broken up every single time. That cannot happen if they want to force out a map 5.
Well, you can think that the confidence is through the roof after taking a map off of them. You need to see that transition into the Gavitu. You're definitely going to have to step up to the plate in the slaying. I mean, Gavitu can very well get out of hand, especially when those power positions are going to come on through. A big curiosity, are we going to see those Volks? I mean, a lot of players have been running it throughout this. Is it something you're going to take out on Gavitu, or are you going to head back to the autos? In my opinion, I think you're going to go back to the autos for these players, especially when Gavitu is just so much longer in range than a Tuscan is in hardpoints. But again, I mean, you reference back to the Tuscan. I'm going to reference back to the Tuscan. The start of Tuscan hardpoint compared to the end of Tuscan hardpoint were two very different games out of the Lopes. And if you want to see that map number 5, if you want to take a second map off of Ottawa, you have to bring what you had in the second half.
Yeah, and just to echo what you were saying right there, you're absolutely going back to the Automaton. The biggest argument in between like the Volk versus the Automaton, as far as what the ARs are going to be looking to run, the sprint to fire speed, it's a little bit more comfortable for a lot of players in like those very medium range engagement. If you can somehow control the bounce of the recoil, that is ballistic to say the least for the Volk, then you can end up at least finding some damage in long range. But the Automaton is a bullet hose. It has more effective range from those medium to long range gunfights, which, let's be frank, it's very rare that you don't end up getting a medium to long range gunfight here on Gavutu. But just to bring it all in full circle, again, for Gavutu hardpoint, for the Lopes, you just have to be able to ride the momentum going forward. You have to understand that they are not just, that God's bleed is basically the point that I'm trying to get to here, Colin. And you have to be able to understand that versus Ottawa. Yes, they're a top 3 team. The majority of them are going to be looking at this as if, yeah, we are facing the Cold War 2021 CCL champions, but also at the same time, you have to be able to swiftly understand you might be able to beckon to make yourself the number 3 team here, and you have to play with that ferocity. Even with the loss today, I think they're still a top 5 team in a lot of people's eyes.
How crazy would that be? Just to see
It'd be pretty crazy.
One of these 3 teams knocked out of that ranking and power rankings. I assume we're definitely going to see a different attitude than we did in that Tuscan control into this Gavitu hardpoint for the Braves. But, I mean, like you said, right now you're just riding the wave. If you're the Lopes and Gavitu, it is definitely not out of the picture for this squad. If you can string together these hills, if you can rotate early, set up, and manipulate those spawns, I mean, this is definitely doable. I have seen crazier things on Gavitu. And this is definitely something that you can make your name one to watch out for inside the CCL if you are GCU.
Some pretty insane things in Call of Duty through a lot of different titles, brother. Just to say we couldn't end up tipping one off here. End out the alpha stream. stage 2, baby. We are getting things underway. ECU starting off on, I don't even know if there's really truly a favor side. I mean, everybody's basically running at each other here as far as ring is concerned. Nobody's immediately looking over towards the black gun on top of top third there for LSC. Ring around the Rosie. Kenji is just making me dizzy. He's still going, by the way. Keep in mind, you keeping it contested, just letting his teammates collect.
He's going to give me vertigo.
So he's still going.
He is vibing inside of there, and he's not stopping. Cruelty, are you going to hop into the blender? No, Selva's going to take him out. A hot break off for GCU. And even a breakout strategy from the ring as well. He's still going in there. He might not be in the ring, but he is still vibing. 10 seconds left of scrap time. We're looking over to the boat. Braves are there first.
I'm going to need someone to hit up Jadovsky and have someone make Kenji a merry-go-round because I believe that he was still going there until the very end. I mean, he's 2-0. He hadn't died, so I had just assumed for the past 50 seconds or so he was just running in circles inside a ring. The Braves now got themselves in control. Got to be looking to maintain this position, try to read where all GCU are coming from, get some of this hard point time here too.
Nerdy angles for days today on players. Looking for the break are the Lopes. Kenji up top. We checked. Herbie's going to go down. Tension's going to be on in. Ethan's going to win the gunfight. Kenji's going to fly on in, but the overwatch from Cruelty, it is too good for the squad. Still collecting time of the Braves with 23 seconds left. Eyes are going to be over to the beaches. Gunsy's here, not for long. The Grand Canyon Esports players are going to find him and sniff him out, but still kills are coming through. Still pressure's going to be there, so the Lopes, they got to fight out now.
Yeah, they have to battle out going forward. I mean, more or less, this is where a lot of teams actually find themselves to get spawn trapped in the backside of 3, but they do find some returning gunfights. Now, if you're the Braves, you have to somehow leave here on ring if you are Gunsy to try to contest this time. Nice nade coming through from Cruelty, top ring. Will end up completely clear out the side, allow Gunsy to get in.
Business as usual, and I mean, look at GCU. Some reason they're focusing on the flank and not even contesting the Braves on the inside. They are keeping their eyes peeled for the future. Hardpoint, rightfully so. I mean, you know you can battle back inside P4, but you do need to put some pressure on here. Jam's going to push in. Selva is on this ring. Gunsy's going to drop down low. They're not yet going to be taking him down. Gunsy on the inside. Kenji finally going to kill him out. 3 kills go the way of the Lopes, and now looking to put pressure off the respawns.
4 though, initially. 31-point lead as it stands will diminish ever so slightly, but now the conversation will ensue for GCU. Can you actually break one of these setups that the Braves are currently holding inside of a money hill? Going to be a player that's in a position to try to help things out. It will be Selvis, but just as soon as I start highlighting them that they could be the player to do it, they get gunned down. So the immediate time and initial will be there for the Braves.
I mean, this is not something that you want to go toe-to-toe with right now. Braves set up on P4 Gavitu. This is basically an impenetrable barrier, but nice shots out of Jams. He's going to find a crack in the armor so far. Follow-up looking to come on through. Player on the flanks, number 4, Kenji. Ethan, nice shots. Nice positioning to take that out as well. You get 2 kills to go your way. Now looking to pinch out Cruelty. The last one on 3 players to take him down. Cruelty's going to hop on out for 1. That's about it. The break finally from GCU, but only 15 seconds. I mean, this is not what you have to play for.
No, really, it's not at all. You almost want to be trying to not necessarily concede it, but the 3 other players need to essentially fly across the beach and try to get in the backside of 3 to contest back green immediately. Exactly where Cruelty is at. Well, Herbie is unfortunately going to claim their own life by way of nade and potentially even the barrel that is down there at the end of the staircase. But 2 quick kills do come through on the backside of green. It finally came through for the Lopes. They gallop across the map. They get those close spawns. They're in for the initial time.
Nice shots from Jams. Setup's going to be here. Honestly, not even that big of a lead for the Braves going into the docks. This could be where the Lopes flips that lead that has been built. Ethan's going to go down, looking to cross over the middle of the map. All eyes going to be the boat. He's going to find Kenji through the wall. The green light for the rest to fly, but the crossfire is so strong inside this hill, and they're going to be picking up these Braves players as they are pushing on in. Cruelty's going to go down another 3 out of the hill. We're going to get a lead change.
Gonna get a lead spot for sure, going in towards the second set of hard points. Now GCU actually setting up another little bit of a pinch play. Selvis finds timing in the back. They take down Herbie. Kenji's also down here on the beachfront. They'll take down Cruelty. It's only Gunsy that shows up in the kill feed with a wrap pistol. And now we go back in towards the merry-go-round of P1. I just want to see Kenji get back in there and start running circles. I'm not going to lie. This is what I was most anticipating on when it came down towards this set of hard points. But even still, GCU, they find the numbers. Ottawa win a gunfight. They can't find themselves a favorable gunfight to be able to at least find for themselves any opportunity to get back into P1.
Huge lead right now for the Lopes. As Brave setting up for the break through mid. Elvis finds Cruelty. Slows this down a little bit. Hoop Tape takes down the pressure from Boat as well. 158 to 118, and there's still 24 seconds to collect. Ethan, it looks like he wants to put some pressure on, but Selvis is just a turret right now. Inside ring, he's 8 and 10, but he's finding very crucial kills to keep them away. And this is a huge collection of time for GCU to push themselves into probably the biggest lead we've seen so far.
Absolutely is. Now you're almost forced to get a full 60 off of P2, which is not easy to do. Not when there's a lot of different angles that you could be looking at from the arch rock, middle of the map, backside docks, and then it starts to come through immediately. There was one player that was in there, I believe was Herbie, for Ottawa to at least try to get some time. Cruelty trying to keep the play alive. They'll find two, but they'll be cut down soon after. Spawns will be on the backside of green there for Braves, but another pinch play is starting to manifest itself. Close on 7 in a row, by the way. Gotta be getting themselves streaks as well. As we go in towards the battle over here at docks, there still has to be an opportunity to present itself for Braves to get themselves favorable numbers to even get inside P2.
Kenji, Klo, they have Boat on lock. Hoop Tape, Herbie looking for the kill on the Selvis. Is going to find it, but the damage has been done. Lopes are in the hill. They're collecting time. 196 and still 15 seconds to push them over that 200-point marker. Close on 11 in a row, by the way. Looking for number 12. Finally going to drop, but full shrieks in hand for GCU. And that is what they're going to play off of to break this hill.
It's going to be so big if GCU can put them in the blender, get them in the spawn trap. Klo is going to call on the glide, as you say. We'll end up committing it to take down Ethan inside of the hardpoint itself. But now you have to be able to commit towards your numbers, and you got to be able to break in. Jams is going to be that guy. Finds themselves on 4. The break is through.
Look, this is the college league. And these guys better be going to school to be surgeons, because this is surgical right now for the break. Into P3, Selva's set up for the cross, cutting off the rotations, finds 2. Gunzy, the pinch, gonna be shut down. Klo to find that one, 232. This is doable. We might be seeing a map number 5 right there. Somebody's gotta touch this hill. The Braves, they need to get in for the contention. All 4 players lined up to burst on through. Klo's gonna find Ethan. Hoop Tape, Herbie looking to get in here. 5 seconds left. Aim for the contention. Here comes Herbie. Can't find the kill at GCU. They're gonna be sending us to a map number 5. They don't find just 1 map, but 2 against the Ottawa Braves, who are undefeated for the longest time ever in the CCL.
Speechless. I honestly thought this was about to be tucked into bed, ready to go warm up a glass of milk, get ready for a nice night of sleep. And then Klo says, no, hold my apple juice. I'm going to drop 25 and 14. 18 non-traded kills on a Gavutsu hardpoint. And Gunzy, I mean, look, they did everything possible. They were double positive going in towards P3. 14 and 7, I think it was. It's just, it's insanity for sure. But for somebody like me that's been able to watch like Selvis throughout the entirety of the CCL year, someone that has seen what Klo's been able to bring to the table, even going back to Modern Warfare, you almost expect that these guys that do put in the work and the time, bouncing off of one another, that they do have what it takes, that maybe it is a war of attrition. It could be other factors within its own self, but I mean, GCU are here to play, man. We got ourselves a map 5. I got no analysis for you. I just don't know how Kenji didn't vomit in his chair fitting in a circle like that on P1. That's insane.
It's just rent-free in my head, just thinking about it. It's like, you know, Marco's gif of just the anime running around in circles. That's all I see. It's just Kenji running around in circles. 14 and 15 might not be huge numbers, but I mean, even still, like, these might not be big numbers at a Kenji or Selvis, but they were finding influential kills for the rotations again and again. And I don't know. I think this is the first time I've ever heard this statement. Ottawa are going map 5.
It's going to be a Bocage search and destroy again. Look, if GCU want to continue to have the success that we've been seeing, this is all going to be on the back end for what timings have been offered for themselves. And they have to be able to exploit that going forward. I mean, even Jams, 19 of their eliminations, 16 of those were non-trade. I mean, that's just a crazy percentage of, not to mention the engagements, but also for the non-traded kills to boot. But I think when you're thinking about Bokash Search and Destroy GCU, they just got to remain in that headspace, continue to play their game. Hell, we might honestly see them complete the reverse sweep, and maybe we got ourselves a new top 3 team. I don't know.
Who knows? Anything can happen, folks. We're going to head to a break, and when we come back, we got ourselves a cage match. I mean, not just one, but 2 map number 5s on a Tuesday night of CCL. It doesn't get better than that. We're going the distance again, this time with your number 3 and number 4 team being Ottawa Braves versus the Grand Canyon Lopes. My name's Seymour, alongside me, Proper. I am ready to get into this one. Let's talk about the series, though, Proper.
Look, I thought we were going to be all done and dusted going in towards that Tuscan control, and GCU say absolutely not. Came alive at the end of that first hard point, just moments too late. Had some bright spots in that Berlin Search and Destroy, but the Tuscan control, something had awoken. Came down to the Lopes, and they came to absolutely play. And things were close if you're just now joining us on that map number 4 of Gavutu Hardpoint, where it was pretty tight going in towards the second set of hardpoints. But from there on out, the Lopes seemingly could not do wrong. They were finding themselves 3-for-1s, 4-for-1s, and most of the kill feeds that were coming through, keeping the Braves on their heels, never allowing them to get inside of the hardpoint and the setup continuously from every single hardpoint. Flawlessly, it almost looked like on that second set for the Lopes.
Well, I mean, the back half has definitely been the name of the game for the Lopes, but now you have one foot in the ring. We are headed to the cage. There's no better way to end this, I feel, than on Bokash for this map number 5. I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those search and destroy maps where you will know where that team's going on the attack. It's just, for defense, you have 50% less room to really maneuver around it and get set up. So it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be fast-paced, and it is going to be chaotic. I mean, this map is this map's just mixy.
It is, and it will continue to be so long as there's a lot of teams that are not putting themselves in a position to try to play against timing or play against unforced errors, if you will. When it comes down to Bokash Search and Destroy, you're probably going to see a lot of day one strategies. And what I mean by that is you're probably going to see a lot of people running at each other over by the tank formation across the P2 stretch, I like to call it. Trying to get that top plat positioning over by the water wheel. Trying to get inside of A early for a quick plant if they can do it. It just comes down to whether or not there's going to be an AR or, hell, even an MP40 feels like an AR on this map. Could be the Volk, for all I know, with the amount that we've seen it inside of this series, Colin, to just shut down the middle of the map push. That one position up on top Grandma's defensively might be the do-or-die situation for a lot of these teams, whether or not they can get that infamous quick plan today.
I mean, who knows what we're going to see? I mean, we see snipers over on Berlin. I mean, sometimes we see snipers on Bokash, whether you're going to play it over towards the P2 tank side or whether you're going to play it towards, P5 to open up the B zones or B sides. So who knows what you're going to get? The only thing that I do know is that this is about to be loud. It's going to be noisy. And Grandma, she's not getting any sleep.
Oh, man. I'm just wondering if Ethan is just going to end up putting it all on the sniper. Just watching that be late. You can honestly do the same thing across the A-lane. We've seen that all the way up to the CDL. I've actually seen it in challengers as well. So, I mean, it's very possible, but you're almost expecting for the SMG presence for Ottawa to come back online here. Now, maybe even Ethan to find more value with the Volk comparatively to what they did on Tuscan. They were somewhere near double negative. Don't want that coming through. Selvas, nice angle to start things off. The offensive turn to kick things off here on the Bokash Search and Destroy into Grandma's. Jams is in a great spot. Nades aplenty. Jams at least find one. Stunned up. Here comes the Chow. They do find Ethan. To be traded, and they will be.
Kenji, keeping the numbers. Hunting down Herbie as well. Selvis comes to help, and caught in the crossfire. GCU. 3 players down. One last player to deal with. It's going to be Cruelty. Bomb down inside. Slides on in. Gets the good timing. Onto one. Can't find the kill, though. Information's going to be there. To set up. Holding hands. The Lopes. Waiting for it to come through, and oh my gosh, he's got the timing, slides in, Pistol's going to find the kill on the Kenji. 2v1, 42 seconds. Plenty of time to work with, and everybody is trapped inside Grandma's. It's a party house right now.
Yeah, Grandma's away on vacation. taking a vacation to go visit those lifeguards we were talking about on the Solomon House of Kavutu.
Oh, yeah.
26 seconds remaining. Cruelty does find an MP40. Gonna check the corner. No, they're not. And that's just a really tough spot to be in. Look, if you're Cruelty, you find the first. Don't even favor to go towards the reload in your primary weapon. You just essentially wait, see if a challenge does come through. And if you're GCU, look, you played that right. You put a player up top, see if there's any sort of cross that comes through from Cruelty. Most importantly, if you're Claw, you just put yourself right in the middle, right over in that corner in the contest spot, one of the contest spots, one of the many contest spots, and for P3 there. It's like Grandma's house, and you just wait to see if they come through the back. So wonderfully played there for GCU. Finding timings in tow. That's going to be their offensive take here. A lot of presence in the middle of the map early for the load.
And there, Ethan has the Vulcan hand. Set nades to spam out Herbie. Opens up the B zone site. Possible plan, but you do see the rotation's going to be here. Jams pushes this. Whoa, Cruelty. All right. 2 nades. Or 1 nade, 2 players. Evens us up now. Cruelty also back Willow as well. Has eyes on the B site. And eyes on tunnel as well. Information on the Jams. Clo through the middle of the map. Gunsy's going to catch him rotating. 2v1. Jams last alive. And they know exactly where this player is. Both players now relocated to hold hands throughout this map. Jams has to go big.
The timing turns, Gunsy. Not get burned. You're absolutely right to highlight one thing is that they not only knew exactly where Jams was going to be coming from, but they even double up together just to make sure that at least it could have been the trade to soon come through at Jams at least taking down Gunsy. But look, it's a big risk when you're any team, offense or defense alike, trying to bully your way through the middle of the map. Defensively, you can end up getting a very nice angle through the gate. Offensively, you should be able to have that little bit of a safety net threshold of the doorway of Barn. It just does not come through for GCU. For an offensive push coming through from Ottawa, the bomb carrier of Gunsy just holding things tight. They're looking through the middle of the map, see if they can find an unforced error. Will not be gifted anything. GCU not budging, barely even past the 50-yard line.
We said both teams 1 foot in the ring. Well, early on they go 1 punch each. There's no way Gunsy spots the feet of this player. Spams to the boards. Isn't going to find him. Barely slipping away with their lives. I don't know who that is, but, I mean, they're wiping the sweat off their forehead.
So all 8 players alive. Past the halfway mark of this round. The only information that's been really found so far is some teams really make this map feel massive. Jam's just going to be holding this angle, expecting players to commit towards A, but the bomb is moving down towards B.
Somebody's here. It's Elvis. But very passive through Willow. Bomb's going to go down. Kenji gets caught. Numbers to the Braves for the retake. It's going to be tough. Lopes, they need to find some kills fast. You look at all the map control that Ottawa has. There's no stone unturned right now. Sliding on in. Jams is going to get caught. Crossfire from Ethan and Gunsy. Going to put the numbers even farther in their hands. 23 seconds. Here comes the remaining. Close spots out Cruelty. Gets the shots off, but not finding the kill and losing out on your teammate. Zelvis goes down, leaves him alone. 1v4. This is the most flawless Bokosh round I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was methodical. That's, again, like going back to the point where a lot of teams can make Bokosh just feel so massive. There's a lot of instances in many different levels of Call of Duty play that if you're either offense or defense, you give essentially nothing. The only information that was confirmed, maybe off a couple stuns and nades, that we were in pretty standard spots. Gunsy keeps their life inside of the shed, and then from the immediate cross, not getting gunned from the Dovecot tower, not even getting shot at over by the Willow Tree, they're able to find the timing to get 3 players down over by B. That just simply needs to be looked at if you are a defensive team. Now here comes a very aggressive hit for GCU.
No
nice
way.
nade over the top from Clo. Finds 2 in the back.
Hey, Cruelty, I got an arm too. And I got a nade with your name on it. 4v2, bomb down. Here comes one. Herbie's going to walk right into Jams. Gunsy, last alive. 1v4 this time for the Braves to walk out for. And if there's anybody you want in this situation, I bet it's Gunsy. But with 30 seconds left, this is a tough task. Fine, shots in the Clo. 1v3. Now 25 seconds to make this happen. Gets caught out. 80 HP. I don't even think this is doable. He's not even going to take a chance. You got on 4 in a row. Try to play your life at that. maybe you can turn this into streaks, play the late game. I mean, you're already in game 5. Why not look to the future?
Yeah, and look, you do have that one round to play with, right, Colin? So, I mean, you absolutely play for streaks going forward. The strafing run is not G8 here in CCL in North America Challengers. So, I mean, it's just one of those things that Gunzy, again, if there's a player that you want in that position, you're just almost happy that it is them. Is currently playing in Elite Stage 2 for Challengers. So, I mean, you definitely know that Gunzy at least has the chops and at least has the decision-making to be able to come all the way through. Whether or not that was discussed for the team, I'm sure it absolutely was. But streaks on a map like Bokash are very, very big. It definitely opens up the floodgates to try to play against the clock for that B site. Almost should be a guaranteed kill if you call it in properly for that glide. Offensive push now for the Braves. See a lot of presence over towards that A lane, but another good nade this time from Kenji. These are all rehearsed. Beautiful stuff.
You hop into a custom game, you practice it over and over and over again, just for this moment. When it turns into something big, against probably one of the biggest games of your regular season. 3v4 Braves at a disadvantage. Bomb recollected by Ethan, but not a whole lot of map control. Last time their attack, it looked so methodical. It looked so clean, but losing out on that player, you're going to have to get a little bit dirty. And Selfis spots out Hoop Tape as well. Just making it a little bit harder. A second one onto Ethan. Just walking in one by one. Now Cruelty, last alive. 1v4. I mean, these rounds, they are just something to be sought out for.
Cruelty, I mean, this is a good lunch, half fries moment. They're giving you absolutely nothing. GCU defensively, they have not gotten aggressive since their first defense, and it was around that Ottawa were able to win. Off of that, Cruelty's now going to try and finally push. Top car will be looked at over top of the fence, and GCU will win 2 rounds in a row, get themselves in that slight lead, and it's all thanks to Selvis in this top position to be able to overlook this fence. It is godlike up there. Be able to watch that entire mid-street. But again, these set nades, it was Chloe on the offense. This time it was Kenji on the defense. Lands one smack dab in the lap of the bomb carrier for the Braves, and alts up their offense significantly.
We don't talk about it a lot on a map like Bokash because it's so small, but you can find a way to deny information. You're going to find the offensive teams making mistakes, and GCU, they have really exploited that possibility in this map. 3, 2. Oh, Kenji, are you going to go for the hop up into attic? If you do, there's somebody waiting. Yeah, it's Gunzy. It's 1-for-1 at least. You do open up the top of Grandma's. Nade from Jabs. Where is that landing? There is no way that's all the way in the back tank. Okay, it's not. I mean, we're staying even at 3. Nobody on Ottawa wants to make a move.
We're open. Not a whole lot of information to go off of. 3v3. We're almost expecting Ottawa to try to make a move, but now they're back to playing their methodical ways. Just trying to force GCU into an unforced error. Close, just opening up doors and windows relentlessly, trying to find any sort of opportunities. Looks like there seems to be a wrap going on the backside of the water wheel, but door's going to be open, so the bomb's going to go down here today.
You know, Nate skips through. Nobody home. 3v3 for the retake. This is going to be explosive. Here comes Herbie. Doesn't check the corner. 3v2. Chloe gets caught, though. Getting aggressive again. We stay even still. Cruelty's going to find the advantage. Selva is now last alive. Both players are side by side. Ethan's going to hop the defuse. Has Cruelty to watch over him. Standing on in. Selva's going to find it. Cruelty's here for the trade. Selva's! Oh my word! He hits the turn and burn. He pumps the brakes and he pushes GCU up by 2.
Just the timing of it all. GCU are just waiting to the fine-tuned moments. They're just getting away with highway robbery again. You know, there's a certain amount of conversation that could end up being talked about. Hello, NRCO. I don't know who the heck you think you are, but we are in a map 5 between the number 3 and number 4 school. Yeah, get out of this game.
Fan.
I'm not. Costing. Ottawa on an offense. Desperately need to make this count. They have players looking towards an aggressive push that they are expecting to come through the Riverwalk, but and GCU on defense, they're not the team to get aggressive. They're just posted up in the back. This is the same exact defensive setup continuously that comes through.
Selfis again. He's on 6 in a row. He's got a strafing run. And right now, if you're the Braves, you are kicking yourselves that you are letting this get out of hand. Selvas has the B site on lock. I mean, you think that in a moment's notice, Gunzi is going to fly in there, hope to find the kill onto Kenji, get this bomb down, and set up for the post plant. Kenji, he knows. He just wants to head of cruelty into the window. Gunzi flies, and Kenji doesn't find the kill, so the bomb's going to go down. We're even.
Should be going down here momentarily today.
No.
Finds the timing. We'll take down Herbie on the backside of the water wheel. And Gunzi actually doesn't commit towards the bomb plant. They're trying to find the trade, but now the Lopes, they have the Braves trapped back here, and Gunzi going to be waiting for the timing. Chloe's going to come off the stairs, and that's a great timing coming through from Gunzi, but now they're all left alive. 1v2. Gunzi is being shot at through walls. They are just having to commit towards this bomb site. Selvas, do they find the exit? Gunzi can't get around the corner in time. GCU put themselves up on map point.
Glide bomb, strafing run, map point. I mean, you name it all. GCU, they have it. And, you know, missed opportunity for Gunzi to get that bomb down. You think that in the situation that they're in, you have that bomb down, you put number in your favor, or you put time in your favor, and that's going to force the Lopes to make some mistakes, make some over-aggressive chows, and it doesn't come out, you know, slow and methodical. GCU pick them apart.
Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. 7 in a row now for Selvas. That's the glide. Call this in early, or do you call this in a post-plant? Set needs are going to be coming through. Just for information, that might end up finding at least any sort of damage on the backside of that tank. They're actually not committing towards a glide bomb play to find this first blood.
Kenji's alone. If he goes down, that is bombed down in such a weird spot proper, especially considering where they are. But glide bomb's going to come through. Hammer's going to get dropped. Herbie's going to get found. Cruelty as well. It's 2 down. The ace out is blown open. Forces the Braves to make a move. Gunzi doesn't get the break to the wall. Bomb goes down. Kenji finds Gunzi. 1 remaining player. It's Ethan. The upset potential is there. The Lopes looking for that number 3 spot. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, they all just leave. They just completely gave it up. Ottawa were hosting it, man, and they said, screw it, we're not even going to give you the satisfaction. No win screen, no stats, do not pass go, do not collect $200. But what the Lopes will secure is a reverse sweep against your number 3 team, Cold War CCL 2021 champs, the Ottawa Braves, Colin. That is just, I'm mind blown. I'm just simply mind blown of what we have just experienced coming through the 3-0 on the Tuscan control. After getting absolutely tucked on the first 2 maps, the Lopes came to play on the back end of this best-of-5 series versus Ottawa, and man, I gotta tell you, it definitely looks pretty darn good for GCU's future here in the CCL.
Waking up today, I thought about a lot, especially when I looked at the schedule and I saw the teams that we were playing. I mean, the one thing that never crossed my mind was what you're looking at right now. You lose out of the first 2 maps, Tuscan, Berlin, it doesn't go your way. Well, don't worry at all. Reset the mental. A good motivational speech throughout halftime. And they come out, they look like a different beast, a different antelope. At that. A 3-0 in the Tuscan control, 250 to 128 Gavitu hardpoint, and a 6-2 search and destroy on Bocage to reverse sweep the defending champions of this college COD league. I mean, add that to your resume. I mean, add all of these players to your radar of players to look out for in the CCL proper, because, I mean, that is something to just hold tight.
Look, man, I got a lot of love for Gunzi. Been a big fan of this guy since watching him play in Modern Warfare 2019, but the man's got reverse sweep 2 times in one day. Once in Challengers Round Robin Day 1 for North America, Stage 2. And then here in the CCL for a Stage 2 match. Look, it's a lot. It's a lot on 2 different teams, yeah. But, I mean, like, it's just one of those things that you got to be looking at when it comes down to GCU, that we were ready to write it off, both you and I, the production, everybody, Zenny observing, Ryan, free cams, and even Sport. on production. We were all ready to go in towards that Tuscan control. We're like, yeah, it's going to be a swift 3-0. There's nobody outgunning, outmaneuvering Ottawa right now, and GCU absolutely turn up. And they not only turn up in a way to completely slam the door in Ottawa's face for a 3-0 on the control, but then they come back with the fiery heat to be able to close out the Kavutu hardpoint in such a definitive fashion, 251-28, and then to force a very quick quit of the lobby on that Bocage search and destroy. We're going to be talking about this for a while.
Yesterday I felt bad proper for the power ranking committee with the game that I saw in match number 3 for the CCL Alpha stream, but I feel bad for them for what's about to come next week. I mean, it's just the question. I mean, do you put GCU now in number 3? Have they just earned that spot? It is an uncharacteristic day for Ottawa Braves, and honestly, for all of these players, something just kind of write off in your mental, just forget about that. But that is something that can come back to bite you, come back to haunt you even, when you're sitting in such a prestigious situation inside of this league. So it's a big moment for GCU. The Lopes really making a staple for their name, and who knows where we're going to see them next week.
I don't know, man. I'm not on that committee, bro. But, like, if I was, the number 4 just beat the number 3. And the way the power rankings typically end up working, you got to give them the number 3 spot now. Ottawa's got to finally move down. You have to give it to them. Look, that's a very long best of 5. I mean, we kind of sped rain through the control and the hard points in certain instances. But, I mean, that was a long, grueling match to show the grit, the tenacity. Again, I was talking about all these different words and phrases that GCU can at least exemplify for themselves. But look, when it comes through in such a big way like that, you got to really just tip it to the kids for what they are representing the Lopes out of Grand Canyon University, man. Because at the end of the day, Jams, Captain Selvis, who had a banger search and destroy there at the end to be able to get those streaks, go on such a brave and bold play there at the very end to call in the streak, even found the first, and then committed towards the push soon after. They played it so surgically. Flo and Kenji played their roles. I know that we ragged on Kenji for leaving there at the end, not trusting that Flo was going to get the 1v3
he made up
there
for it.
on the Berlin search and destroy. Yeah, he made up for it. Not only in a way that he was also able to help their team get in towards a reverse sweep territory, but also that merry-go-round that we had on Kavutu Hardpoint. I'm going to remember that for a lot of different days.
I am going to remember that for days to come, for months, maybe even years to come, if Kenji is just keeping up with the plays that we see today. But folks, I mean, we talked about how spicy stage 2 was. It just got even hotter. Crank it up the heat. Crank up the dial. I'm excited to see what we get next week. That's going to be all for the show today. The Alpha stream, it has been crazy. Back-to-back map number 5s. And I can't wait to see you all next week. Have a fantastic night. We will see you next week for week 3 of the CCL Stage 2.